Manchester United will face West Ham United at the MetLife Stadium in the United States in the second round of preseason games for Manchester United. At the MetLife Arena, as I said earlier, basically in order to prepare ourselves ahead of the 25-26 campaign, as expected and as is required, all of that. You know, it is one game that everybody's expecting, seeing as Manchester United have already signed Mbeumo. You know, we'll be playing and then trying to see what Mbeumo brings to the team. Rúben Amorim talked in the press conference about how the team has been built. Surprisingly, not to digress, the questions that were asked in the press conference were nothing related to the game. All the questions you must have seen, as I analyzed in the previous video, whereas all the press conference questions were around basically just, oh, you signed players, these are the players you're looking to sign, everything relating to transfer windows, what Cunha brings to the team, and all of that. It doesn't there's no question around what the plan for preseason is, the game we're playing, and all of that. But it is what it is. We'll still bring you basically, you know, what we expect to face in this game against West Ham United. And it's a West Ham United that is coached by a former Chelsea coach in the person of Graham Potter, basically. So we're going to talk about that. I mean, it's a new era, a new chapter. Rúben Amorim made a statement last night in the press conference when he mentioned something within a line, says we'll suffer but we'll still win. I'm like, people were trying to misconstrue that and blow it out of proportion, but it is what it is. United fans are impatient, but we need to kind of build momentum and start to grow here. So it is what it is. We have to move on. Basically, we meet at MetLife Stadium on Saturday for the opening fixture of the Premier League Summer Series, a preseason tournament held in the United States. Now, Man United and West Ham will also face Everton, Bournemouth in a round-robin format, and then team with the most points after 3 matches will be crowned the winner. So it is what it is. We'll face Everton and face Bournemouth after that. Then the most points, we just be crowned the winner of that trophy, and it will be given. So we are looking to kind of build a team ahead of next season after we had a disastrous 24-25 season that concluded with us finishing 15th position in the Premier League, and we basically had collected a collective 42 points and remained at 38 or 39 for a very long time. Now, apparently, it seemed like obviously it was our worst season in Premier League history, and also lost to Tottenham Hotspur disastrously, heartbreakingly, in the league final. Just to give a bit of a context, but this is a chance for us to sharpen up and secure a sensational return to the Premier League, basically to try to, seeing as we don't have Europe contest for, try to take things up a notch and all of that. We watched the training sessions, we watched all the things that went on with the team, and we saw that everybody was trying to shape up and, you know, meet the required performance levels by Rúben Amorim and all of that. And it was very key for us, very important for us to get to that point and to be able to deliver all that. Now, Man United took 32 players, so 32-man squad arrived in the States with that squad on Tuesday, and obviously we also hope that we'll see positive signs and improvement across the encounters with West Ham, Bournemouth and Everton before heading back to Old Trafford for friendly of the final friendly of the summer against against Fiorentina on the 9th of August. Also, with regards to what is expected, now, this is what we're looking out for before we get into the form and context. Basically, we'll be weighing up our options and trying to see what is expected with regards to how Rúben Amorim intends to line up. Now, considering how we've performed in the game against Leeds, Man United will come into this fixture with more questions than answers, especially from the fans after had what seen as not so good a game. But we have to also be, cautious, and we also have to also be optimistic. Preseason offers a clean slate for most players. I mean, Mbeumo was not in that one. We signed Mbeumo, it's been confirmed. And 3 days later, Man United traveled with him for preseason on Tuesday. So this is an opportunity for us to kind of for us to kind of see that when Amorim is embedding his tactical ideas, and then obviously with what happened with us against West Ham last year, especially in the first leg that led to Rúben Amorim being sacked around October, and we can look to try to, especially with Leeds, with West Ham having a new coach, Graham Potter. Now, with regards to what is expected, basically, now based on form and context, now Amorim will also weigh up whether to hand an immediate start in the next in attack next to his fellow new recruit Cunha, while either Rasmus or Chido Obi tasked in leading the line. Both players actually played 45 minutes each as a central striker against Leeds. So basically, Rasmus played 45 minutes as central striker. Cunha played as a 10, left 10, and we got a chance to see how he would do against a team like Leeds and all of that. Even though Leeds kind of outplayed us, there's Joshua Zirkzee, who didn't make that Leeds game, back now. Andre Onana, who also missed that game from injury, but Amorim has included them in the squad. We saw literally Andre Onana training. Then we also have Sandro Martinez, also not ready, not expected to start or feature in any way or capacity or form, but back and training with the squad. And he joined the squad maybe just for kind of like for them to be motivated while he does his own light training and prepares himself. Obviously, Michael Rashford also completed his loan move to Barcelona, and then Harry Maguire, who didn't play that game, who played the first couple of minutes in the second half in that game, didn't travel with the squad initially on Tuesday, but then he has joined up with the squad, and I literally saw him in videos because he traveled later on Wednesday after dealing with a personal matter, meaning that he could also feature in some capacity this weekend. So with head-to-head, this clash, it seems to be more of a clash that involves basically Man United struggling to beat West Ham over the past couple of years. Just to give a bit of stats, the current head-to-head record between Man United and West Ham is that Man United has 20 wins, and West Ham has 9 wins, and they both have a draw, right? So basically, West Ham United have won the previous 2 matches against Man United, and those ones are competitive matches. It's very important that we, come into that game, really prepared, and we should expect we should have a way of seeing Amorim's tactics materialize, build up, as the case may be. So speaking of how Manchester United play, I'm going to talk about how West Ham play, because we know that West Ham lineup with, I'll give my predicted lineup for West Ham, but how Manchester United play, Amorim's side have been working basically over the past couple of days in preseason. Have been working, and this match offers another level for us to get to see a glimpse of his tactical influence. We expect the same 3-4-3 system with an emphasis on the wing backs with vertical passing and a high press out of possession. And Amorim is also likely to experiment, especially in attack, with Cunha and Mbeumo to slot in the 2-10, and he'll potentially start with a front 3 of Cunha, Mbeumo, and Rasmus Højlund. Now, the back 3 can see younger players fitting in the second half. I expect that. And then obviously with the centre backs, I expect that the regular centre backs will be there. And in mid, I expect a certain level of mixture of, first of all, having the idea of the first half, with the team that is expected to be his first team squad, because he mentioned it in the press conference and all of that. So basically, if we're going to go with that, I'll first of all go with West Ham's possible starting lineup for this game. They'll go with Areola in net, then they'll go with Jean-Claude Todibo and Max Kilman as two centre backs, Aguerd and Aaron Wan-Bissaka as the right and left wing back. Then they'll go with James Ward-Prowse and Souček in midfield, and Juve, Paqueta, Bowen, and Fulkrug. Krug as a striker, Paqueta as the attacking mid, Juve left, Bowen right. Play that 4-3-3, or you could play 4-4-2, a 4-2-3-1, whatever they line up, whatever happens, basically. But also play 3-4-3 at the back as well for what do you call it, for West Ham. Now, it's also difficult to predict the outcome of any preseason contest, especially when both managers are expected to rotate their teams throughout the match, as they aim to give valuable minutes to as many players as possible in order to build up their match fitness. But West Ham will be in high spirits after winning their opening friendly fixture. But we are also we're also looking at what to expect of Man United, seeing that there's a boost with Mbeumo coming back in the squad and Cunha in the squad for us to kind of beat West Ham. And what Man United needs to do in this game to win. Before we get there, let's get to the predicted lineup. So the predicted starting lineup for Manchester United will go like so. Man United will play with Alaba there in net, and then we have Harry Maguire centre back, then Matthias de Ligt and Leny Yoro. So this is kind of like the strongest back four we have, seeing as Andre Onana is injured. This will probably be the strongest back four we have. And then in the mid, go with Bruno Fernandes and Manuel Ugarte as your two number 6s. And then wing backs, we go with Ahmad and Patrick Dogu as your wing backs, left and right. And then on the 210s, I'm expecting that Rúben Amorim will start Bryan Mbeumo and Cunha as the 210, our 19 and number 10. And then obviously Rasmus Højlund. Talked about Rasmus Højlund being a threat in the lineup. So this front three should be what we should expect if Man United doesn't sign a striker. Key player to watch in this fixture, players to watch in this fixture, is how Bryan Mbeumo fits in this team, how Cunha fits in this team, how Cunha, Mbeumo, Ahmad can play in this team alongside Bruno and Manuel Ugarte. And I expect it to be a fast-paced game, a running team, control at the back, and then also running through the mid, defending properly in the mid. See how Bruno fits in the ball-playing midfield role. And then Patrick Dogu and Ahmad running down the flanks, bombing down. We saw it in the last game when Ahmad and Patrick Dogu kind of were pressing together when Ahmad was switched to the 10, and then Toby Collier was switched to the right wing back in the first half. Then when Dogu came in the second half, Dogu actually just basically changed the texture of the game by, pressing forward and pushing forward and all of that. Albeit it's a preseason, this gives us a chance for us to see what we expect to see, especially with the new team that Rúben Amorim is building, the momentum and all of that. So I expect this lineup, and I expect that Man United will capitalize on West Ham's lapses, even though they're going to be coming from a very high with winning their previous preseason game. So yeah, this is what I think will happen. This is what I believe that Rúben Amorim will try to do, because he's trying to build a team that is very robust and very rugged and solid. And we saw that he took up the intensity of the training today. So Man United need to, especially what we need to do to win is that even if this is a preseason fixture, we will need a structure We need composure and we need intensity. You know, pressing as a unit, and this will also be crucial to avoid being overrun by West Ham, especially with Souček in mid and James Ward-Prowse controlling there, and Lucas Paqueta, their star player, who is one player to watch for West Ham as well. So with Lucas Paqueta and all of that, we need to be very, very sound and aggressive, especially when we are dealing with their runners in possibly Juve, Bowen, and even Wan-Bissaka with his defensive ability, right? Then obviously we have to be wary, especially of the wing back spots and wing back position, because that was what was lacking in the previous game, where Diego Leon was struggling in the first half, even though I can understand, and Rúben Amorim also said that, yeah, his own is a different case compared to Cunha and Mbeumo. But we must be defensive positioning is key. I think Eddie Heaven showed a bit of it there. Then Yoro showed a bit. When Tyler Fredrickson, when he came in the second half, showed a bit of it when he came off for Maguire. The Ligt as well was defending really well. So I expect very strong, solid defense if we're putting out a really strong team like this. And then, obviously, I expect changes, a raft of changes in the second half. Amorim might change the entire squad in the second half with Tom Heaton coming back in there. But let's continue with this. We must be solid in our defensive positioning, particularly from the wide centre backs in Euro and the Ligt, and quick ball progression with smart link up between the front three, especially for offensively, for the offensive aspect of it. You know, we have to be quick, we have to have ball progression, and we expect that from Cunha and Mbeumo, and the smart link up between Mbeumo, Cunha, and Rasmus. I expect that with ball carrying from Mbeumo and Cunha, it changes Rasmus's way of playing. I wouldn't be surprised if I see Xerxes start that game, but it is what it is. Then, obviously, West Ham tend to leave space when they are pressing, especially between the defensive line and their midfield. And then also be wary of set pieces, because they have James Ward-Prowse. This is their key weapon in set piece. For players like Cunha, Bruno, and key in making sure that we achieve success this preseason, so that Man United fans not panic, despite the fact that we know it's preseason paper. Now, it's only preseason, basically, just to round this all up. It's only preseason, but Manchester United, but for Manchester United, this is more than just fitness and minutes. I mean, it's the signal of intent, a chance to reset, and a platform to build belief after a humiliating campaign last season. West Ham will arrive with confidence after their last win, and they will arrive with cohesion because they've played more recently than Man United. And Man United actually drew the first game. But United's individual quality and Amorim's tactical blueprint will be under the spotlight, with new faces like Cunha and Mbeumo likely to even start the game. And with the squad still in flux, this is actually United's first audition, or second audition rather, for a season that simply has to be better, especially for us fans. For Man United fans, one thing I'm going to say is do not panic. It's preseason. We're building a team. These guys still have to gel. Last season, we had 5 players who needed to gel. This season, we have 3 players, especially the 2 major ones in Cunha and Mbeumo, still need to gel with the team. Let's allow them to bed in. I wish that Chido allowed Cunha to shoot that shot he had in the first half against Leeds. I've been saying a different story. But if we won that game, a lot of things would have papered through the cracks. So we need to see those things. Where does our strength lie? How can we deal with it? So let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section about all of this. We look forward to the game in a couple of hours, about 2 or 3 hours. And then when the predicted lineup comes out, you see it on all the other social media. When the confirmed lineup comes out, you see it on all our social media platforms. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. And we're still about to hit that milestone. So thank you so much. Just keep it coming. Keep the subscriptions coming. Don't forget to turn on your notification bell so that you don't have to miss anything related to Manchester United. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. And I'll see you in the next one. I'll see you at the end of the game. So take care. Goodbye and God bless.